Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Yes, you're gonna think, why is she coming on when the card is already done? Well, it's really not. I just did the basics on it because what I want to do to it is gonna take a little more time, and you guys have seen a bunch of coloring videos, die cutting videos, but I'll explain what I did. With these two pieces, I just took a cloud die and I cut one out of plain cardstock, and then I did one out of the glitter cardstock. And then I did one piece out of a hill die, just to do that. I already glued down just a panel of pattern paper. It looks like a snowstorm going on there, and these guys are from Crafter's Companion, and they're let's see what the name of this is. Warm Holiday Hugs. Nothing new. This has been out for a while, but I thought it was the best image for this card. What's gonna happen is, and the reason why I did all the prep work was that I want to. I didn't invent this. This has been out for a long time, but I wanted to do my spin on it because most people do rain, and these are seed beads. And what I want to do is that I want to create the image of snow. So it's kind of like a shaker card, right? When you flip the card up and down, you'll see the seed beads go up and down. So it just gives the illusion of snow, and that's why I did all the other prep work first. So my little guys, oh, I think they are dry. I'm going to glue them down first, and I want them to really set up, so when I start layering everything, it's going to be hard to get back there and glue them in. So we're going to glue them down. I really didn't color their feet because most of it is not going to show, but their bodies are, so I just gave them some shading and made them look all spiffy. So we're going to glue this down, and I'm just going to put this here to see more or less, and I think we're good there. Okay. So that's our image. I put enough glue that it should all really lay down flat. And then we're going to give that a little time to set up. While I'm waiting for that, I'm also going to glue the top part. The reason is that this is going to be higher, so our mechanism is going to go onto here. And I just wanted to make the illusion of there's more clouds, not just the one layer. So let's glue this guy down. And I think I have to trim it a little, but that's okay. I'll do that after it's glued. And I'm really going to glue it down. I'm putting more than enough glue. Alright, and we'll bring that up. And then we could trim down any excess just by butting the scissor up against that edge and trimming it. So there we go. So I'm going to give that time to set up, and what I'm going to do in the meantime is that I am going to cut some strips. Now let me see the space of this one. So I think the strips for the bottom, I'm going to cut them at 1.5. So let me just jot that down. 1.5. And then this one, I'm just going to trim at 1 inch. Maybe 1 1/8. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll be right back. That's where we're at. So I cut a piece which was a little more than 1/2 inch, and then I cut little slits. Now the purpose for the slits is this is where you would really loop your string around, and that'll hold it in place, because I tried doing it with just putting it on the foam tape, and that did not work well, so I don't recommend it. If it works for you, great, but it didn't work for me. So we're just gonna glue this down, and what you want to do is not put it like this. You're gonna face those little teeth down so that your string has some place to catch, and try to miss the foam tape so you can actually get your string all the way down to the bottom. That way it's nice and secure. So you're just gonna hold that in place, and you can lift these up a little bit to make it easier for you. And that's that. And we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. And we're gonna put this here. And I kind of cut them together so they can kind of fall in the same place. So let's do this. And press that down. Nice and secure. And then we're almost ready to go. So now we just have to string the rest of our beads. Again, I tried a different technique before I started this video, so I have to restring all this. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll be back because this is gonna take forever. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Okay, so I mean, it's if you had noticed that the lighting changes stuff, it's because it's been a couple of days, and I moved my office. And I put it into my spare bedroom just because I needed a door. And so I put my desk near a window, and I'm still working on the lighting, but I think it works fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie this off, and I'm just gonna make a little knot. And I'm gonna do that just to have somewhere to loop my string to my little mechanism there. And let's move that up. Of course, we have to make it so it's not visible. Okay, well, that first thing didn't work, but I think it'll be fine. Yeah, it's gonna work. So let's loop that over the first one. And then we can start pushing our beads up. And you could put as many beads as you want. It'll just, I would just put different amounts. So if you start this one up low, then the next one I'll put some more beads, and vice versa. So let's get that one, and let's add some of our beads. So we have that going on. Now we're just going to continue to just loop this around. And then you could push them in place so they could hold it nice and tight. And let's put less beads on this one. Let's see, we're gonna put it here. So let's lift that one up. Press it down. Add some beads. And we may have to add some more, but for now I think we're good. And if you hold it tight, you can pretty much see what you're gonna get. Okay? So, you know what? I didn't put enough, or maybe take some out of that one, because it looks like I put the same exact amount. Let's add a couple more. Okay, and let's loop that around. maybe just add a couple to this one. And let's just keep doing that. You know what? I think I'm going to skip this one because it's small. No, we're going to have to use it. All right. Let's add like 5 beads there. So we pick that up, around, and push it down. And just like I said, pushing it down just kind of locks it, which is great. We need to add more. And we're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to finish this part off the camera because I still have to put some more beads in, and it's going to be a while before I'm done. So I just figured we'll just do that and come back. I'll be right back. Promise it won't be days. Okay, so I finished with our seed beads, which I got this set off of Amazon. I think I paid $11 for it. So if you're looking for seed beads, you can find a whole set there. And before I secure the end part, if your string is too tight, it can make your card kind of curve. So you can fix that by just leaving this loose and just trying to get that little curve out and straighten those out. It'll just take a little bit more string without losing how nice and tight everything is. Then what you can do is secure this one to the bottom. Secure this, tighten that, and maybe just go around to a couple of these, and that'll secure that in place. Okay. Once we glue the other layers on top, it'll also pin it. So this is what we have. Could snip that there, maybe just a little bit more. And now we can add our top panels, which will cover up all of this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this together, and you can add 1 or 2. We can try the 1 just to see if it works. So we don't have to bulk it up too much. So let's go ahead and start adding these panels together. It's just layering things up, that's all. And I know in my previous video I said I was going to cut a 1.5 piece, but I figured that the curve of the actual hill would be better, just so this top part wouldn't curve too much on it. And now we're just going to put glue here all over the place, and then remove these tapes. so we can glue everything together. Let's just get that out. Now that'll glue in place. Okay. Should have taken that out beforehand, but didn't. So now just make sure that your beads are away from it so you don't glue any of those down. And we can glue this right down here. And let that set up. And then we could do the same thing to the top. Let's glue the one panel. To this. And then secure all that down. And then really just hold that in place. I'm gonna put this on there, let it dry, and then I'll be back. Okay, so while that dries, I'm gonna decide on the sentiment, and I'm gonna use my label verses from Crafter's Companion. And I think I'm gonna use something on this side. Deck the halls, go all the way. Yeah, let me use something on this side. We can always make the other ones that we want. All right, let's put that down. And since this is not huge, I can probably get away with using my smaller stamping platform. Yep, that'll work. Let's just put that in the center. I'm gonna go lift that up. Let's get some paper. And I'm just gonna cut this in half. As always, I secure it with tape just because I don't want to use the magnets. And let's see, yeah, it clears it. Very good. And we're gonna use the VersaFine. So as with the big one, I'm just gonna start stamping one section at a time, just to make sure that I'm able to get everything pretty good without really smushing it. All right, and let's move. And keep going. I have a lot of cleaning up to do with this one. The good thing about these, they're acrylic, but they're thicker than the normal ones that they would make. you squish it down, it pretty much holds. It's not as soft as their normal acrylic stamps. And let's see, what am I missing here? The Silent Night. Okay. The Joy to the World. Okay, pretty good. And I'm just gonna leave it like that because I'm most likely going to use this one. I think I chose the wrong paper though, because this paper is not holding the ink well. I did that before, but it's okay. We're gonna use it. Let's leave that there. We have to clean it. And now we can line this up to cut it. And for me, that looks pretty good. Let's tape that there. And tape it here. I almost goofed there. Put it on my do not cut plate. Alright. Let's just run that through. Okay, and this is what we have. Now it's just basically seeing what you like. And if we wanted to, we can use another piece of ribbon or cardstock and put that there. Celebrate the season, which would look cute. From our home to yours. You could ink this to make it pop a little more. Let's try that. And I think I'm going to use blue. Oops. So if you add that blue there, now it'll kind of pop. So then when you put it, it's no longer that harsh white. So that'll look like that. But I'm thinking that I'm gonna go with this. I kind of like the idea of running either ribbon or a little bit of cardstock, which I'm gonna use cardstock just because it's more solid right through it. And I'm either gonna use a green or a pink. Let's see. Let me get some cardstock, I'll be right back. Okay, so I decided on a green and a pink. So I'm gonna thread the green because I cut that one thinner, and that's gonna tie in their hats. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to glue this on top of the pink, and then we can put that on our card so it ties everything together. And even though you can't see it well there because the light, you can kind of see there what it's going to look like. Okay, so let's get that going, and then we could trim it once it's on. So let's glue this, you know, kind of goofed. Let's see. See if I can salvage it. No, I can't. I used the wrong side, but that's fine. There's still texture on the other side. And I'm going to cut it long just because I don't know how much I'm going to use. And I'm just going to put this guy right there. Glue it right on top. If you wanted to, you can also ink a little bit of that white with your blue, but I don't think I'm going to, and if I do, it's going to be very little, because you should have done that before you put it down. Let's see, should we? Oh, why not? Let's go for it. So I'm just going to do a little bit. Let's see if I can get away with this. And I'm using the ink that's been on this brush for a while just because I don't want to overdo it. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Just a little bit. Just so I can pop off that glitter a little. But if you're going to do it before you put it down, just so you don't contaminate your pink or your green. So now it just pops just a little bit and you can see it right there. Okay, let's glue this in place. Again, this is not something that I created. This is something that's been around for a while. I just I figured there could be some new people on here that never seen it, and it's cute. Something that you can make, maybe not for all of your holiday cards, but for one or two special ones. I'm gonna let that really set up before I trim it, just because it is glitter card, and it might shift when I try to cut it, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna pause the video for a second and I'll be right back. Okay, I think it's dry enough, so we're gonna flip it over, and maybe not as dry as I want it, but that's okay. And we're just gonna snip that off and do the same to this side, and there we go. And that's our finished card. You can add some snowflakes to the top, like blue ones or anything you want actually, but the whole purpose of the card is to have this little effect. So it's like a shaker without the acetate, right? And it just looks like it's snowing. I'll take some good pictures and post it so you could see. Anyway, I hope you like our little project, and I'm sorry that it took so many days to complete, but it was worth it. It's so cute. I love it. Okay, I'll talk to you guys real soon. All right, bye.